In the big Bilge Tank, we'll keep you in the know. In the big Bilge Tank, we'll fix your techie woes.
Then we'll break things and we'll make things so we're all together raking and
We'll raise a cup of grog down in the big Bilge Tank. In the big Bilge Tank, come and join our pirate crew. In the big Bilge Tank, we will show you what to do.
And we'll hack it till we crack it, and we'll tell the world about it and forget to tidy up.
That's why it's now a Bilge Tank.
Hi, and welcome to Bilge Tank 024. Yar. We're running a bit of a skeleton crew today. It's the half-term skeleton crew pirate ship zombie plague week. So pretty much everyone's off sick with some kind of flu or something. I'm feeling a bit peaky. How about you, Phil?
I had my flu before everyone else and got it out of the way.
Yeah.
Planning.
So, patient zero.
Hey!
Yeah. Anyway, so today's going to be a relatively low-key show. We're going to show off some stuff we like from the shop that we just haven't shown off before much and that we like. Generally poke around with a few new bits and pieces and just generally, shoot the breeze, really. Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, we'll start off with what's the news today in the world of Pi. So I think the first thing is the OpenGL experimental desktop rendering, which somebody has mentioned in comments already. Yeah, Mark O'Reilly mentioned that there's a new version of Raspbian 1.6.0. Sheffield Siren, shout out. 5.0. Yeah. So this looks like it's not actually OpenGL ES either. This is full OpenGL.
Full big deal.
Full, yeah. If only I could find some kind of article about it. Blog. Yeah, so there we got the Pi blog. Explosion-based computing. There we go. Another new Raspbian release. There's no videos here, unfortunately. We should have got this set up, shouldn't we? If only we'd had time and not been all sick. Yep.
Very text heavy.
There we go. Yeah. So apparently this is OpenGL games now running at a blistering 60 frames a second. Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. I've been meaning to try and tinker around with OpenGL at some point, which never
just after doing all the flotilla stuff.
Yeah.
And all of that. So that's really good news. I'm sure we have something else we wanted to mention, but we'll think of that later. Yeah. Oh yeah, Pi clusters. There was another Pi cluster project. With this time it was in hat format. Yeah. And just had 4 Pi zeros on top of a B plus or 2. Yeah. And looks like the guys at the foundation sorted out. The final 15 slots have been filled on the big Raspberry Pi cluster. So nice to see supporting some innovative and interesting, crazy stuff there.
That is definitely crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure that one day when they update the 0 to quad core, that'll just be amazing.
Epic.
Yeah. So where was the small Pi cluster?
Where the small Pi cluster was? Was there a small one?
Yeah, there's a small one. There's one that's like four ports.
I've been so buried in Flotilla I don't even know my own name anymore.
I think they tweeted it on their Twitter. And yeah, they said it was a lot more achievable just because the stock is so constrained at the moment.
Well, I've been trying to set one up, but I've never got quite to the stage of actually clustering them.
Yeah,
Flashed a few memory cards and connected some Pis together, but I'm trying to do the thing where you upload code straight onto the Pi with no SD card in it all.
Really?
I'm waiting for a fix to the USB bootcode bin file so I can actually do that on the Pi Zero, because it's possible on Slice and the Model A+, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is you plug your Pi Zero straight into your USB port, no SD card in it, and you run the USB loader that's in the Raspberry Pi Tools GitHub repo. You can actually just write your bare metal code and then just squirt it straight onto the chip, and it'll go and stick it in a RAM disk and run it, and that means you can technically build a cluster without having to flash dozens of SD cards first.
Yep.
Which is probably one of the sticking points.
Well, one more go at Twitter.
It's still searching.
Oh, it's using Bing. This is the problem. Let's go to
check out this Bing action right here.
Let's go to a real search engine. Raspberry Pi Zero cluster hat. I've misspelled Raspberry as well. This is hella embarrassing. See, we've got the old cluster there. Oh no, cluster hat for Raspberry Pi. There we go. Found it.
James Mitchell's found it as well.
Yeah.
It probably took him several minutes to figure out how to type a URL into YouTube.
There we go. So now you can watch us kind of reading out our search queries and now playing YouTube videos. Yeah. Live on air. Have let us know. YouTube Red has come out, but only in the United States. So I want to give YouTube money. I want to give Google money and throw it at the screen just to take away the adverts, and they won't let you do it in the UK. Just in the US at the moment. Yeah. So you look here. Yeah.
TV.
That is just the single port. It's just got the single.
That is that's the USB on the go port. So presumably he's trying to do what I just described and knows enough about the
he's got SD
video
cards.
chip.
So you're just using it for communications, presumably.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a neat thing.
So is that then a USB connector running from the Pi, the board on the top to the Pi underneath, and just a hub?
Yeah.
Cute. Very cute.
And a supplemental power supply, which is then running through to the Pi.
That's redonkulous.
Good luck with that. Should work actually, mostly, kind of, as long as you don't do too much.
It's a USB cable going. Whoop.
Yep. Supplementary power though, is it? Or is that...
No, I think that's powering the Pi Zeros from the Pi.
No, I think you'd take it from the 5-volt line, wouldn't you? But you're probably going to run with some power issues.
That'll be the USB connection from the Pi Zeros, and I'm guessing that chip on the bottom there is a USB
it's
hub.
the hub, yeah. So hub through to the Pi, but it did look like they powered up in sequence there, which is pretty smart.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
Turning them all at once, the Pi will go, ah!
And then, looks like some
what is going
serial debugging there as well, just for giggles.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh, they got the power monitor here, just to show you how much it's drawing.
Oh, that's cute.
So it's still under 5 watts. Still under an amp.
Yeah, the Pi Zeros
they're sipping 100 milliamps each in normal use.
Just
don't start
obviously, if you're going to
crying.
stick them on there, you're probably going to be wanting to load them down quite heavily. Under the point, but
yes,
we shall see.
It's a handy little multi-computational thing going on there.
It's a nice idea because it lets you structure your own kind of multi-core environment.
Yeah, it's all about learning, isn't it? Simulating these things.
Like Parallella, for example, has a very structured and set way of doing it that you had to get your head around before you could even start multi-core processing, whereas on the Pi you can kind of do silly things in Python where you run a Python script on each one and you communicate over sockets and just see what you can do, really. Doesn't need to be enterprisey to be educational.
Oh gosh, no. It's probably better if it's not as well in universities.
Yeah, quite so.
Yeah, and obviously low cost, but you have to
here you've got
kind
a
of
Pi
grind hard to get the zeros.
Your Pi that's your boss that's going to talk to each individual Pi Zero and give it a task, and then it's going to collect the results of those tasks. Just the simple concept of metering out information and having to give a Pi Zero a packet of work to do because you can't communicate back and forth necessarily.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what the vertical USB part is, if it's surface mount.
We've got a non-surface mount one with bolts that we use in the Flotilla dock programming, so that could be interesting.
Anyway, let's move on to having a look at some random stuff.
Random stuff. What have we got first?
So we got the ESP8266 hats in now. There are a couple of guides online. Have a look out for them. Let's see if we can just show that on the close up.
I still haven't had time to play with, but it's one hell of a chip.
Yep. So there we go. Missed.
Close up action.
Yep.
Oh, if you could just get that down. Wrong way up.
There you go. So look for that on the shop, and you can find that at. There we go. If you can read that URL, you are a better person than me.
I can't see it.
Yeah. If you search on Pimoroni for A266, you'll find that floating around.
So we've got a little proto area on there that you can connect some, whatever you want to. Analog sensors. The ESP8266 has got something like 4 analog IOs, I think. So you can stick a firmware on it that will allow you to read some information off there and send it over the network or send it back to your Pi. Quite a nice little kind of Internet of Things add-on, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not necessarily on board with the idea of putting Wi-Fi on something the size of the Pi Zero, because you can pick your package. So if you want to stick this kind of thing on top, then you've got a kind of intelligent Internet-y of Things communication device. If you want to stick a little radio on top, then you've got kind of your little mesh network Pi Zero. If you want to stick a Ethernet connector or a Wi-Fi connector on it, then so be it. But
but if you can do like the chip and just get Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and whatever in there for a few dollars
for free, then that's fair dues. But
it's always a fraud process.
Otherwise, I'm not entirely against the idea of freedom of choice, kind of being able to pick.
Well, this is it. The Zero is supposed to be the base for it, isn't it? It is that as close to motherboard as possible as makes sense, and then the money you save you put into what you need to build on top of it. Speaking of which, we do now have the Ethernet adapters in stock.
There we go. This is the one. This
is the USB Ethernet adapter.
So get it in shot.
Yep. It does use the full-size USB cable, so you need the little shim adapter to plug it directly into.
You can see the little shim there. I've had this ticking away on the Pi Zero, actually running some benchmarks.
Yeah.
And we've got a switch sitting directly in front of me, and it's talking to my laptop, so the benchmarks are coming out reasonably positive.
Let's bring that up.
Hey,
there we go. So that's plugging away there at like 10 megaseconds, isn't it?
It's alright.
I've just covered it up, Phil. What am I doing?
Anything between 9 and 10 megaseconds in optimal conditions, which is about what you expect from that kind of network adapter.
So if you look down there in the corner, that's
shining.
been plugging away for a good 10 minutes since we started the show, and it's hitting nigh on 10, 11 meg.
That is transferred 12 gigabytes.
12 gigabytes, and we started it just before the show.
So that's pretty good. 12 gigabytes of imaginary nonsense data, of course, to my laptop, which it's just going to disappear into the ether when it arrives. But stable 12 gig all the same.
Cool. No word on new stock of Zeros yet, but if you've already got a Zero, or if you've even got an A, that'll be a nice handy addition. It's very similar to the kind of the Broadcom Y fronts, except it's wired Ethernet.
I quite
it's
like
got 3
the
ports.
The Wi-Fi fronts.
Yeah, since the Zero came out, they've had a new lease of life. They are back in this season.
Little pants for your Pi Zero.
So Darren asks, how fast is that hub? 10 to 15 megabytes? No, it's about there. Peaking, it's about
9 to 10 megabytes.
Yeah, 9 to 10 megabytes, maybe 11. 12 megabytes is your theoretical maximum with 100 megabit networking. So that's pretty much doing full beans there.
You can see it's saying the current speed is 11.5 and it's kind of bouncing back between 11.5 and 10.5, which is kind of on the threshold, because we've got this ridiculous switch right directly in front of us that's got a network cable coming into it, going out into the Pi, and then going to my laptop. So pretty ideal conditions in this sense. On our network kind of through there, where I'm talking between like my desktop and a Pi or laptop and a Pi, then it seems to be around 9.5 meg, but whatever, it's fine.
We tested a lot of these. You tested a lot of these. You had ones with the micro USB connector, which were ideal for going right into the Zero, but the build quality was pretty terrible.
They were awful.
Some of them were really slow as well, for no appreciable reason.
I've got the Apple one on my desk as well, and you can just see the inspiration, the sorts of inspiration and quality.
Left a bit.
It's actually
go on, get it up close up. You know you can.
Whoa. You can see a picture of me on my own desktop. How vain is that? The inspiration is clear from here. Actually, this is better built than the Apple one, because the Apple one has a little plastic insert at the end, whereas this one's completely solid. I've tried to squish and deform this plastic casing, but it's really, really tough. You're not going to do anything with that.
So the worst one you tested, what was the throughput on that?
It was something like 100 kilobytes per second, or something tragic like that, and I still don't know exactly why, but it's showing up as a USB 1.1 device, low speed, and just going really, really slow. And you open them up, and they're just like smoke and mirrors and magic inside.
They're literally smoke and mirrors. It's a mirror
made
just
of
on
hot
top.
glue. Held together with hot
just
glue.
Terrible hand soldering of all surface mount components and all kinds of things.
I mean, there were some nice ones that kind of had 4 USB ports that tailed off on little connectors, and then had you'll see it on Twitter online.
The Octopus.
People are using the Octopus.
Yeah.
Which is okay, but there's not a lot of strain relief in any of the cables, and you've got all these cables flapping about in the breeze, so there's so much on that to go wrong.
Yeah, they
Whereas
were
this
never
has
going to
got
last
the
that
one
long,
cable.
pretty as they were.
I pulled one apart and kind of had a dig around inside it, and there's a little switch on the side of one of them. And all that switch does is either connect or disconnect like a 56 ohm resistor or something about that value, which tells your upstream phone, because you normally plug these things into your phone, whether or not it's providing power, which is bizarre. So
That was kind of cute, wasn't it? It was weird, but cute.
switch, connect resistor, disconnect resistor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
I still stared at it kind of in befuddlement until I figured out what on earth it was doing.
So the other thing we're pushing today is the Suguru magnet kit. So let me just pull out all these other screens we don't need now. Oh, we need that one still. So make everything magnets. Make everything magnetic. Suguru magnets.
Got the wrong one up on the thing.
Fine.
On the do.
There we go.
Yay!
There we go. So Suguru magnets. What you do is you get some strong magnets. I've got anything these can stick to. This is aluminium, isn't it? Oh, it's actually
exploded.
it's actually doing stuff. How about the tripod? Let's break it open.
These are pretty good magnets.
Yeah. Never ever look up on Google degloving incidents, because when you get really strong magnets and they bang together, some people get their fingers caught in the way. So you can see here, let's stick that close up. I'm just going to take one magnet out and some Suguru. Whoa. I don't know what that is, but it just came off. Oh my god, it's just pressing the enter key. These are really good magnets, so yeah, just solid. Yeah. So you got to watch out with these. These, if you got two of these together on your fingers and they go and clamp, they would probably be hurt.
I can't. Oh, I'm feeling it pull about there. Yeah.
So give it a close up.
I can't get it off.
So what you're supposed to do with these is find the north and south magnets, and you're supposed to kind of wrap the Suguru around one of the magnets, put it onto whatever you like, whether it's your keys, whether it's something else you want to keep important, and put the other magnet where you want to mount it.
Actually, a really good idea.
Yeah.
You don't need to even use two magnets. I mean, anything that you want to stick to the fridge, you can
If it's
just
metal.
screw the magnet to the back.
Yeah, just walk in the door, sling your keys in the fridge, and just bunk. Yeah.
Right, go and bring us on with a close-up cam.
Oh, you could get some little mittens for your cat, and it could walk up metal walls. There's 4 magnets, man. They thought of this. They intended this. As long as they're just little booties,
Spider cat.
then it's not cruel.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
keep this on. Yeah, put the close-up on. Give us some close-ups. We haven't got any close-ups.
Sorry.
There's not
There we
enough
go.
of us to
Close-ups.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Whoa. You ready? Oh, nice.
Yeah. It also comes with a little guide here on what you can do.
Right, I just dropped it on the table.
Yeah. We need to do more of this. Yeah, that's good documentation.
Ah!
So they're saying mount stuff on your bike, mount stuff to your camera. Yeah. This is good stuff.
Ah.
Yeah, so look out for them in the store. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And we also have the Resistor lead bending tool.
Hey, the tripod's not magnetic.
There you go.
Oh, Christ, the desk is...
The desk is very
Yeah,
magnetic.
that's done, stuck. Good now.
So this is an overlooked gem. It's a piece of plastic made out in Japan somewhere, I think. Is this one of the... who makes this? I think this is might be the same people as the cake board. They just keep making these weird and useful tools where you can take a magnet and instead of kind of doing something
Good
rogue...
resistor, not a magnet. You've got magnets on the brain.
So there we go. Normally you bend like that and you end up with a really kind of weak curve. Whereas the lead bending tool, you've actually got marked out sections for how many kind of breadboard holes you want to go across.
Oh, this
And
is great.
you can just put the magnet. Put the. I've got magnets on the brain now.
Yeah, I've got
Hold a magnet all the thing, and you can bend the
Put the
leads
magnet
around
on.
the end, and end up with a much cleaner bend for using on circuit boards. Oh, I've messed that one up. Can you do one, Phil? You're better than me.
Good job. Hey, we got a close up still. We're
So when you're using
really
components
can't
in
get the
circuit,
hang of this.
you choose kind of how many rows of the breadboard you want to leap
I'm gonna
across.
go for seven rows, and then fold it over the side like that,
There we go. You end up with something that's not like what I
A
did.
slightly mangled resistor. So then that should go into a breadboard 7 spaces wide. I can't see a breadboard anywhere around.
Yeah.
I'll prove it, but
So resistor lead bending tool, pick up one of those. Also, Chibitronics, they do the circuit stickers, which are cute little triangles. They've got some new packaging out to make their kits even cuter. Take a look at those. They also do a classroom pack as well. So if you're looking for circuit stickers, yeah, I love this piece of art they've got where they show it working with just about everything conductive as well. So check out those new ones of those in the shop with the new packaging and all that. And also a classroom pack. So if you want to do loads of these, there's this big classroom pack with loads of stickers. Let's have a look, what's in there? Just all the stickers and loads of copper tape for the classroom. Great.
Should be lights.
We also have, as well, the breakout for the Displayotron.
Oh yeah. We love the Displayotron is like the EA Dog 163 LCD, and we've kind of loved it ever since we started playing with it because it's just a nice svelte LCD that doesn't have those massive green kind of PCB backpacks that most other LCDs of this ilk do.
It's slim, it's svelte, and it's RGB.
Lovely. We've once again stuck 3 RGB backlights behind it because it's transparent, so you can basically backlight it whatever you want. And we've cut a little plastic diffuser and some little edge trimming, so it's just really nicely put together.
So the whole sandwich is like under 10mm thick.
This comes as a kit, so you get the diffuser, you get the little black surround, and you get the LCD, and you basically put them together. Soldering is pretty straightforward, although this appears to have been soldered by a monkey.
I think Mark did it. He's new at soldering. He's improving though. He's interested, that's the thing.
To be fair, I soldered a bunch of Displayatrons a while back, and my joints always started like this, and then towards the end of the joint it got better, and then as I progressed through more of them,
as demonstrated
it's a practice.
2 weeks ago, my soldering's still awful under pressure. Anyway, you've got RGB backlights, you've got 3 lines, 16 characters, simple interface, it's slim, it's easy to work with really.
And mounting holes.
Yeah.
Lovely mounting holes.
So if you want to integrate the Displayatron RGB into random projects with Arduinos and things, this is the ideal way to do it. And
the
good price for a lot of functionality at £13.50.
You need a PWM pin for red, blue and green, or you can just turn them on and off, and you basically, by default they're on, so you can plug it in, you can not have the PWM pins connected at all. And that's just maintained its state now, which is really irritating. It's stayed purple. That should never happen, but I think that's due to capacitance. So purple. Oh yeah, that's nice. So you don't actually need any PWM pins at all. By default, it will light up with a white backlight. But
I've just noticed the custom characters.
Have you? Oh, really?
So some of the characters in the memory you can define yourself.
You get 8 memory slots basically, and to animate them, you can basically just keep updating those 8 memory slots. So we've got the little side-by-side shifty pirate face. Yarr, yarr.
Oh, that is.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
That is 1-bit Paul. Hey, 1-bit Paul. So tiny.
There we go.
Yarr.
Brilliant. And I think the last thing we're going to talk about today is the new Navio 2. So this is the all singing, all dancing GPS, blooming 2 accelerometers now, and just So we've got power cable to put it into your battery on your quadcopter or whatever. You've got the GPS antenna.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, you get like 20-30 amps running to ESCs, so to tap that and to monitor the current, you need one of those.
Oh, you monitor the current of the ESCs as well.
Yeah. So there's the Navio 2 with the new right-angled headers and slightly improved stuff on board and things like that. It's got GPS, it's got breakouts, it's got PWM.
You're upgrading your quadcopter.
I will be upgrading my quadcopter so it can not fly with a more advanced system. So I can crash it quicker.
Crash more advancedly.
So I've got a new. I've actually got a new receiver on order because the key to these things is they take what's called a PPM input. So what you do is you get your controller where you got your kind of And
monkey.
yeah, and these 6 or 8 channels you got on there puts them into a pulse format.
Yeah.
And then most receivers, it spits it over the radio to the receiver, which then demultiplexes it and puts it out on 8 ports. Whereas this just wants that signal raw as 1 ppm signal. So a lot of receivers, you have to use a AML, a small AVR chip, to put it back to multiplex it back up. But if you look carefully, you can find PPM receivers that will work with just 1 connection to this and spit all the control data if you're doing non-drone operations, which legally you kind of have to support. You have to be able to be in control of these things. You can't just let them be autonomous, unless you talk very nicely to the aviation authority. Yeah.
I'm not entirely surprised they don't want autonomous robots.
Yeah. Now somebody in Spain's done what's effectively a cut down version of this for the Zero, which is interesting. I think they're in early days. They're shipping this month, so we can't get our hands on it yet because making the first batch is the hardest one. So good luck to them with that. I think it'll be very popular. Doesn't come with the GPS, but it is, I think, about €69. Let's have a look. See if we can
this
find
is where the kind of low cost of the Pi Zero allows you to sell really, really kind of high value, good accessories.
Yeah.
You just need that brain and that capability.
Yeah, there we go. PXF Mini. Autopilot shield for Raspberry Pi Zero. Just got a render here, but that's...
Nice.
Yeah. So it has the accelerometers and the 9 degrees of freedom, has the PPM control, it works with things like APM, which is kind of the open source autopilot software. Same with the Navio. It's kind of the industry standard for, I think, home-built drones, if you will. So that's a good little system there. It's got the plugins.
It can be a lot lighter as well with just the Pi Zero, a lot less power hungry.
Yeah. So good luck with those. They've also got some interesting kits and things. They're a nice agency making robotic stuff in Spain somewhere. Or was it Portugal? I forget. They have their own distro and stuff as well. So yeah, that's an interesting week of shinies, and hopefully we'll be back next week with us actually building stuff rather than just kind of going
compliment of
shinies.
People who have planned things.
Yeah. I don't mind the odd week where we just kind of get stuff and go. Darren Hill asks, is the LiPo shim still coming? Yep. John's gone through final tests, so I think they'll be getting ordered soon because it hasn't exploded or anything.
I think
basically.
he had an aha moment recently and went, yeah, it works.
Yep. So it does the low voltage warnings and all that, and the safe shutdown for when the voltage gets really low. So that's all kind of good. Yeah. Anything else in the chat?
Look through.
Some mention of banana pie. Ban kick.
Banana pie. Get out.
Yeah, there's the Pine 64 has got funded now, hasn't it? So we'll see whether that actually starts shipping in quantity at any point. But yeah, hopefully the LiPo shim coming soon. I know there's a couple more hats which we've put one into production, and we've got some more exciting stuff that we put through to prototyping this week.
Got him via a fat that I need to get it done and dusted.
Yeah.
Sense your
So really, yeah, just get Flotilla sorted and shipped, and then open the fire hose of products. Yeah. Mark Riley, JTAG. No idea. Don't think anyone touches the JTAG on the Pi much, really.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's not
I
something
don't think I've
really
used a
consider.
JTAG port ever, because knowing what goes on his CPU is not going to make me any better clued in about my code.
Yeah, if you do find something on your travels, Mark, let us know and we will talk about it. But right now, it's kind of down on our list after fixing all the other stuff and making cool hats. But yeah, JTAG, because the interface is there, just tempting people. If you're doing low-level stuff,
yeah. I guess it's necessary if you're
bare metaling.
Bare metaling,
Yeah.
If necessary if you're bare metaling and don't want to spend hours and hours and hours changing small pieces of code to try and debug a problem before realising you did something incredibly stupid, and then having to go rewrite it.
Yeah, so Mike says, it'd be good to fix the LiPo underneath the Zero. So the LiPo shim, it can be undermounted, there will be the height of the components. It's mainly meant to go kind of on top of the Zero, down low on the GPIO pins, and then have a FAT or a hat on top of it as well, and just have a LiPo in the sandwich.
It's supposed to be just thin enough to get in there. I think the PCB is thinner, like point.
0.8 mil.
Yeah, 0.8 rather.
So it's a slim PCB.
1.
It's got some components on top, but not too many. And we've got lipos ordered from China. They should be shipping sometime after Chinese New Year, hopefully. So we will see lipos returning to the Pimoroni store. And then we just have to convince Royal Mail to carry them. Although maybe we can only offer DPD shipping for them legally. Because Royal Mail are just like, lipos, whoa, we can't handle that. Yeah, and just dire warnings all over the boxes. Right, thanks for listening, folks, and we'll see you next week for 025. And don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, how are we even going to do this? There's only 2 of us.
TikTok, man. Subscribe.
Comment.
Like.
And subscribe.
Hug.
And cuddle.
Comment.
Now we're just word associating.
Yes. Mallet's mallet. They'll come back. That's about due for a resurrection, isn't it?
What was that?
Mallet's mallet. Timmy Mallet.
Totally lost me now.
Teeny weeny man, you're too young, aren't you?
I am too young.
Whack-a-day.
Sorry.
Wide Awake Club.
Sorry
No.
for being too young.
Fine. Yes. Bye, folks.
Bye.